Tara, you can see Tara here, is the female manifestation of all the Buddha's wisdom and compassion. And she manifests in a female form. Lama Yeshe used to call her Mummy Tara because he said, you know, when you're sad, when you need protection, when you need help, everybody goes to their mom for help, okay? So she said that she's like a mother for spiritual practitioners. And she is said to bring quick help. In other words, she, you know, she's not lying around doing nothing. But like all the rest of the Buddhists, just by our making prayers and requests, doesn't mean, bam, you know, she's going to swoop down and remove all of our misery and change our karma and so on and so forth. Okay, it's for us to advance on the path, it's a collaborative effort. Yeah, we have to create the karma, we have to change our attitudes and work to subdue our afflictive mind. And the more we do that, the more the inspiration and blessings of the Buddha can affect us. Yeah, but when we don't try in our Dharma practice, and we just go to the temple and say, Buddha, 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 please, may I win the lottery, may my daughter marry a good guy, and my son marry a good girl, and may everything good happen to me, and I don't really care about what happens to other people. If you have that kind of attitude, it's difficult for the Buddha's enlightening influence to affect us, because our motivation is not in line with what the Buddhas are teaching us. Okay? The Buddhas are teaching us to not, you know, to get over seeing samsaric pleasures as something wonderful, to have a much longer attitude, seeing that just getting what you want this life is not really going to be satisfying, and in the process we can create a lot of negative karma. So the Buddha really encouraged us to keep good ethical conduct, to practice generosity, fortitude, and so on, so that having met the Dharma in this life, in the next life, we can also meet the Dharma and continue to practice. And so that becomes our first level of really having a Dharma motivation. Yeah, when we're still stuck on, you know, I want a nice car and a good flat and a corner office and a ton of money, and I want to go travel to, where do you want to travel to? Niagara Falls, you know, and Bali and the Eiffel Tower. But you go up the Eiffel Tower, and then what do? The only choice is to come down again. You know, it really isn't hot stuff. So, you know, the Buddha's trying to really get us to look longer distance into future lives. And the Buddhas also are trying to help us expand our hearts and think not only of good future lives, but what about attaining liberation? What about getting off this merry-go-round of being born again and again and again and again? And how many times do you have to go through adolescence? Yeah? Did anybody enjoy being an adolescent? Oh, one person? Yeah, two people. What I heard somebody once say is that they are really set on liberation because they don't want to go through adolescence again, because it's such a confusing time in your life. Yeah, none of you, oh, well, all of 3 people enjoyed being confused during the rest of you, yeah. How about those of you who have adolescent children? Is that fun? No. Yeah, all those darling little babies who used to say, "Mommy, Daddy, I love you," are now saying, "Mommy, Daddy, get off my back." Yeah, but give me money. Yeah, loan me the car, but don't tell me what time to be home. Okay, so, the Buddhists are trying desperately to get us to change our mind and our priorities. Yeah, and so not only to think of future lives, not only to think of getting off of the cycle of samsara, rebirth under the influence of afflictions and karma, but they're also trying to get us to open our heart to see that everybody else is in the same condition that we are, and to not just seek our own liberation and our own benefit, but to think about everybody else. And this is quite radical for us, because, who do we think about the most? Ourselves. Yeah, my happiness is most important. My suffering hurts more than others. Nobody else has ever experienced the horrible suffering I have experienced. Oh yeah? Nobody else? Really? Yeah. Your life is worse than somebody who is in a war zone right now? Your life is worse than somebody who doesn't have enough food? Think about it, how much we just go round and around about ourselves. But if we really expand our mind, we see this as a common situation in samsara. So that gives us more energy to get out of samsara. And it also makes us see everybody is in the same boat, and that we can't just think about our own liberation. Yeah, especially when our lives right now depend on the kindness of others. Yeah, we've been the recipients of tremendous kindness in our lives. How can we just say, okay, thanks everybody, you did wonderful, you grew my food, you made my clothes, you made the MRT, you kept the country safe, I have everything I want, almost, so thank you very much, and I don't care if you're staying in samsara for eons. Yeah? Do you want to have that kind of attitude? Yeah. So we have to really look beyond our own nose, okay? And see the kindness that we've experienced, and be quite aware that we've been the recipient of amazing kindness in our lives, and that we automatically want to pay it back or pay it forward. Yeah? And that process of paying it back, paying it forward, doing something for the benefit of others actually makes us much happier than just seeking our own benefit does. Okay, why? Because the more we focus on ourselves, the more sensitive we become to everything. And everything becomes a super big deal if it concerns me. Yeah? And that kind of attitude makes us more fearful of other people. It makes us, more suspicious. We misinterpret what people say and do. Yeah, the slightest thing people do that we don't like, we just have a fit. Yeah. So, when we really look at the self-centered thought, it pretends to be our enemy and pretends to be our friend. Yeah, our selfish mind says, listen to me, I'll get you all the happiness you want. And so we follow it, and we live our life just chasing, what our own self-centered mind wants, and ignoring the rest of the world unless they can benefit us. Okay? And so, then everything becomes so sensitive. Somebody didn't say hello. Somebody gave me a dirty look. Somebody said something behind my back about me, I'm sure, even though you didn't hear anything. Those people are out to get me. They're talking bad about me to the boss. Yeah, you heard them? No, but I can just tell by the way they act. Yeah, so it makes us suspicious like that. Yeah? And then everything everybody says is like, oh, that's an insult. Somebody says, you lost weight. Oh, they think I look terrible. Somebody says, you gained weight. Oh, they think I look terrible. Yeah. So, let's begin to see how that self-centered thought really is our enemy. When you look at the 10 destructive actions, okay, let's go through those. What are the 3 physical ones we do? First one. Killing. Second. Stealing. Third.
Sexual misconduct.
Yeah, unwise and unkind sexual behavior. Then there's 4 of speech. First. Lying. Second. Divisive speech. You try and cause people who are in harmony to not like each other. Third, harsh words. Fourth, gossip. Our favorite. Yeah, gossip. Oh, how nice. Did you hear what that person over there did? They blinked their eyes at the wrong time. This is really horrible. Oh my God. Okay, 3 mental ones. What are they? Coveting, yeah. Malice, and?
Heresy.
No, not heresy. Don't say that word. That's a wrong translation. Wrong views. Yeah. One of our teachers learned the word heresy because he wanted to learn to speak English. And he had a dictionary, one of the old Chandra Das dictionaries. And he looked up this one word in it, and the English translation was heresy. So he started saying heresy instead of distorted views or wrong views. Heresy, at least for somebody who grew up in the West, gives me the image of the Spanish Inquisition and somebody burning at the stake. Yeah, because they didn't hold the proper Catholic view and they were considered a witch or whatever. Okay, this is not what Buddhism is saying. So please don't use that word. Yeah, there's a few mistranslations that have crept in because of this. Yeah, another word that I really can't stand because it doesn't give the Buddhist meaning is the word sin. Yeah, the word sin in English is awful. It's not. It doesn't have the same meaning as negative karma or destructive karma does in Buddhism. Yeah. Why? Because sin is something you're born with, so you should feel ashamed of yourself. And it's gonna, you sin more, and you're gonna go to hell, ASAP, and burn forever and ever and ever. And that is not the Buddhist idea of negative karma. Not at all. Okay. So, at negative karma, you did something that is counter to virtue. It plants a seed in your mind. You will experience the result of your action. But that result is not a punishment. And nobody sends you to the lower realms. Yeah. If we create the cause for that rebirth, yes, we get born there. But nobody sends us there. There is no punishment and reward in Buddhism, because there's nobody who is the creator and operator of the universe. Okay, this is very, very important. So please don't ever use the word sin. Yeah, there's a few other words I don't like, but my topic today isn't translation terms. It's Dharma, so I'll try and stay on topic. Okay. Yeah, but to really see that the self-centered thought keeps us bound in misery, and cherishing others is something that brings joy in our heart and makes our relationships better and contributes to harmony in society. Yeah? So we really want to cultivate that mind that cherishes others. Okay? And we cherish them not because we can manipulate them and get what we want out of them. That's not a good motivation. But we cherish others because they have the potential to become fully awakened, and because they have been so kind to us in previous lives, are kind to us in this life, and will be kind to us until we reach full awakening. Yeah. So this involves quite a revolutionary change in how we look at life. Yeah? And actually, all of Dharma practice involves a very big change in how we look at things. Now, you might say, well, how come I have to change the way I look at things? I'm already, however old, I've thought about things, I know my opinions, I know who I am. Why should I have to change anything? I came to Dharma class so I could tell my husband how to overcome his anger. Yeah. Anybody bring their husbands or wives along? Yeah? Okay. My happiness is because of their anger. My unhappiness, is because of their anger. No, your unhappiness is because of your mind. Don't blame it on anybody else. Okay, so if our regular way of looking at things were realistic, and we saw reality now with our senses or with our mental consciousness, then practicing Dharma would be useless. The Buddha teaching it would have been superfluous. And we would already be enlightened beings, completely free of all suffering, if our regular views were correct and our regular emotions were the only way a sane person could respond. Yeah? Anybody here a Buddha? If you were a Buddha, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. Yeah. You would be making manifestations throughout the cosmos, being of benefit to sentient beings. You wouldn't be sitting here listening to me. So we have to see that somehow our outlook is distorted. Yeah, how we see things, there's a distortion. Yeah. And one of the biggest distortions is we think our happiness and our suffering come from outside. So if we want to be happy, we have to get everything we want from outside. You know, I want money, I want a car, I want, that vacation. I want to go to Mount Everest. I want to climb Mount Everest. I want to be the first Singaporean to go up Mount Everest. And they'll write about me in the Straits Times, and I will be a hero of the country. Yeah? Anybody here want to go to the top of Mount Everest? Anybody here have the physical strength to... You don't even like to walk up a flight of stairs, let alone go up Mount Everest. Yeah? Yeah? Whenever I'm with Singaporeans, it's like, we got to get the parking space closest to where we're going so that we don't have to walk one unnecessary step. And I'm always saying we need the exercise. Just park anywhere and we'll walk. No. So we have to drive around the block for 15 minutes looking for a parking space that isn't there. Okay? So I have a secret mantra to teach you if you want a parking space. It goes, well, I don't know if I should share it with you. It's secret. It's Om, parking space, home pay so And if you say it at least 3 times, you will find a parking space. So try it. Yeah. Om, parking space, home pay so hot. Yeah. Got it? Okay, then you won't have to walk. Yeah, and all your wishes will be fulfilled for parking spaces. Okay, so, this thing that happiness, our view that happiness is outside, so I have to get everything I want by hook or by crook, and sometimes it's by crook. Yeah, and we harm other people to get what we want. We lie, we cheat, we talk behind their back, we steal. We're really nice people, huh? Right? Whatever I want, I should get. Doesn't matter how. Okay. Oh, you think I'm insulting you. I came here to feel happy, and what's this nun telling me? Yeah. At least she's not telling me to wear a COVID mask. That's a joke from yesterday. Yeah, he's not here today. Okay. So, so we think our happiness comes from outside. We have to get everything. Our suffering comes from outside. Why am I suffering? Yeah, my mother does this, my father doesn't do that, my husband, my life, my wife, my son, my daughter, my dog, my pet hamster, my frog, all of them drive me crazy. Yeah. And they all need to change, and when they change, I will be happily ever after. Yeah, Prince Charming wouldn't hurt either, you know, if he finally showed up. Yeah, some of you waiting for Prince Charming or Princess Charming? Yeah, to ride up on their white horse and sweep you away. But you don't know where he's taking you. Okay, so this is, you know, because we're so focused outside, we don't realize how much our own ideas, our own emotions, our own interpretations color our experience and actually create karma and determine or influence what our experiences will be. Yeah. So when we do the Tara practice, yeah, we're not just looking to Tara as, Tara, please give me everything I want. That's looking outside too. Some people, it's like what they do, they do business with the Buddha. Yeah, you go to the temple and you make prayers. Okay, please, may we win the lottery. Please, you know, my son and daughter marry the right people. May they get corner offices. May they make a lot of money. You know, please, I want grandchildren. Or, you know, I want to be famous. Or, you know, please, Buddha, 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 please bring all these good things to me and my family. And if you do, if all those things happen like that, then I'll make an offering to the temple. In other words, Buddha, first you deliver, then I pay. Yeah, I'm not going to make an offering before you deliver, Buddha. You know, if you want my offering, you better, you know, give me what I want. If you have that kind of attitude, that's not going to work. That's not the way to approach the holy beings. We are not doing business with them. Okay, so what we want to try and do in the practice is recognize how our own mind creates our happiness and our misery, because that gives us real power. Yeah. If happiness and misery came from outside, can you control the external world? Can you make people do what you want them to do? We can't, can we? We try. But unless they're 3 years old or younger, you cannot make them do what you want them to do. And sometimes even at 3 years old, you can't make them do what you want them to do. Okay? So it has to be us changing our outlook, our approach. And that's what Tara wants to help us do. Okay? So Tara's function, the function of any Buddha, is to teach us. And they say of the Buddha's body, speech, and mind, the foremost way that the Buddha helps us sentient beings is through his speech, through giving teachings. And that's why it's so important for us to attend teachings, and especially to attend teachings in person. I know that with COVID, there is now so much online. So it's kind of nice to stay at home, you know, and watch teachings online. You said to listen to teachings, so I'm listening to teachings. So I sit in my lazy chair, I put my legs up, I have my cup of coffee, I lean back and watch the Dharma teachings, sip a cup of coffee. Sometimes I want a snack. I go up and get it and come back and munch while the teacher's talking. You know, when the talk is boring, I get up and walk around a little bit. You know, go to the bathroom, go to the refrigerator again. You think we don't know what you're doing? It doesn't take omniscience to know that. So, but when you watch, if you can't get to Dharma teachings and Zoom is the only way, do that, you know, or go to an archives. I mean, my website is full of stuff, and so I recommend people going to that too. But if you have the chance to come to a Dharma center and be with a living person teaching you the Dharma, and be with living people who are supporting you in your practice and who you can practice with, you get so much more. Yeah, because you're having a lived experience. Yeah, with a teacher who's teaching you, with other people who understand your spiritual yearning. Yeah, a computer screen is not going to give you that, okay? So if you can't get to a teaching, you're sick, you live, you know, on the other side of the world or whatever, okay, watch online. But if you can go, it's really much better. There's a big difference, okay? So I do recommend when His Holiness the Dalai Lama is teaching, you know, watch. It's good. If you, especially if you have never met His Holiness before in person, it gives you some opportunity to create a karmic connection with him. And that karmic connection is important. Yeah. Okay, so how does Tara teach us? What is she teaching us in the practice? Okay. If we look at the sadhana, yeah, it starts out with refuge and bodhicitta. So what we're learning by doing that is, and trying to get clear in our own mind, is what path are we practicing? We're taking refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. We're practicing the path they teach. Why are we practicing it? Yeah, because we have the bodhicitta aspiration to attain full awakening for the benefit of sentient beings. Yeah, so that's the first two, refuge and bodhicitta, and the four immeasurable. Then we visualize Tara in front of us. Yeah, she's surrounded by all the 21 Taras. You have them here. Yeah, aren't they incredibly gorgeous? I mean, just beautiful. Imagine if they were living beings and you were sitting in front of them. Wouldn't that be incredible? Yeah. So that's the way you want to think. Even though you're visualizing, you think that you're really sitting in front of these Buddhas. And they're looking at you with kindness. They're looking at you seeing your potential. They're looking at you with confidence that you can practice the path and become awakened. Okay, so that's increasing your confidence in your ability to practice. Then we do the 7-limb prayer. Yeah, what we're learning there is that we need to purify our negativities and we need to create merit. Merit is positive potential, goodness, okay, good karma. Yeah, we do the mandala offering because making offerings helps us overcome our stinginess and our greed. Okay, and when we make offerings, here we're just imagining offering everything to Tara. Yeah, it's not that you have to move out of your house and give it to Tara. You know, I'm not saying that. But, yeah, when we even mentally give, then it frees us from the clinging to this is mine and I've got to protect it and it's got to look better than anybody else's and that kind of stuff. Okay, then there's the homage to the 21 Taras. So this is something that we chant, and it pays homage to each of the 21 Taras. Okay, so there's teachings on each one, about each one of them. I did a book on Tara. What was the title?
How to Free Your Mind.
How to Free Your Mind, Tara the Liberator. Or they may have changed the title when they reprinted it. It's How to Free Your Mind, Tara the Liberator. Okay, and so in there it talks about the qualities of each of the Taras. You can read it in there. Okay, so that is page 2 and 3 and into page 4. Okay, then at the bottom of page 4, requesting protection from the 8 dangers. So this is very important, and this is what I'm going to come back to, because this is really how Tara teaches us, you know, what to practice and what to abandon. So I'll come back to that. So, you know, we'll go, because we're going quickly with an overview right now. Okay, then we do purification and inspiration, and we visualize Tara, and this, you know, we've already visualized, and we imagine light coming from actually all the 21 Taras into us, into all sentient beings, purifying our harmful actions and negative karma, and bringing the blessings and inspiration of the enlightened ones so that we are inspired to learn and practice and meditate on the Dharma. Okay? And at that time, we also chant Tara's mantra. And when you chant Tara's mantra, one way to chant it is with a melody, one way is not. But there's something in the energy of Tara's mantra that gives you, yeah, some optimism and some hope. Okay, and then we dedicate the merit. We rejoice in the merit that we created, and we dedicate so that it will ripen in the awakening of all sentient beings. Okay, let's go back to the bottom of page 4, at least on my thing. What page is it in yours? Requesting protection from the 8 dangers. Page 5. Okay, so this was written by the first Dalai Lama, who was a big fan of Tara. Yeah. Actually, in the Tibetan community, everybody is the fan of Tara. I mean, that's why she's called Mummy Tara. Everybody, you know, goes for refuge and help to her. Okay, so let's look at it. The first verse. Dwelling in the mountains of wrong views of selfhood, puffed up with holding itself superior, it claws other beings with contempt. The lion of conceit, please protect us from this danger. Okay, so this poem, there's a mention of often an animal, but not always, but of something that prevents us, some external being or thing that prevents us from practicing. And it then compares it to something in our own mind that is the real problem. Okay? So in this one, okay, it's talking about a lion. Yeah. Okay, so what do lions do? They claw. Yeah, when they catch a prey, they claw it, with no regard for the happiness of that other living being. Lions are puffed up. I'm the king of the jungle. Nobody else can come near me. I have the loudest roar. Am I doing it correctly? Thanks. They'll put me on the movies. What is it? Fox movies or something? No, they don't have a fox. They have a lion. You remember? Do they still do that on new movies? Or is that, the lion. And then they show you the movie. Okay, so the lion wakes you up and then okay. So if you think of a lion, a lion struts around. It's the king of the jungle. It scares all the other living beings. Yeah. Although I saw a video of a lion running away from an elephant. Okay. It claws others without caring for them. So, what's it talking about in our mind that we have to subdue? The wrong views of selfhood. Yeah. So this is the view that thinks that there is a real, inherently existent me. Okay? Do you feel that way inside here somewhere? Me. There's me. Do you ever doubt that me exists? No, there's me. This very solid me that my whole life is based around. And we never question that feeling or that idea of I. This is the capital I. We never question it. Yeah, there's me. That's it. And if you don't know already, I'm the most important one in the world. Yeah, and most of you don't know that. So I'm going to educate you. That I should get everything I want. You should do everything I want. Yeah, when I want it. Yeah. The whole world should cater to me and my happiness, and the whole world should feel sorry for me when I'm unhappy, and they should fix it. Yeah. It's my right. You fix my unhappiness. Doesn't matter what I've done to harm others. The world should fix it and honor me. Okay, so from this grasping at a solid self, then we become very attached to it. And then that self-centeredness roars up, and we go through life, like we're the king of the mountain. And that causes us a lot of pain. Yeah, the king may look powerful, or the lion may look powerful, but lions also die. They don't live forever. Yeah, they may claw others with contempt to get what they want, but people don't like them. Yeah, when you're with people who are very arrogant, who think that the world is there to serve them and honor them? Do you like those people? No. You may be afraid of them, but do you like them? Do you respect them? Mm-mm. Okay. So what this is saying is that when we have this strong grasping at a solid self, and when we're attached to that self, we become like that lion. Yeah, we're puffed up. We think we're so powerful. But we're actually fallible, just like everybody else. The lion's going to die. And we may make people afraid, but that doesn't mean that they like us or love us. Okay, somebody being afraid of you does not mean they respect you. Respecting somebody and being afraid of them are two different things. Yeah, and we get them confused. We think if I can lord over people, then they will realize finally how wonderful I am. Yeah. So I think I'm great. They should think I'm great. When you meet people who are puffed up like that, I don't know about you, but I see right through it. To me, it's just a big act. And actually, they don't have much self-confidence. And they try to intimidate others to get praise and respect, but that never satisfies them and makes them happy. They're actually quite miserable. Yeah. I won't give you any examples, but the person that I often use as an example, you can use him too. Mm. Yeah, you know who I use, yeah. It starts with T. Yeah, but really, I mean, suffering sentient being. Okay, the second verse. Untamed by the sharp hooks of mindfulness and introspective awareness, dulled by the maddening liquor of sensual pleasure, it enters wrong paths and shows its harmful tusks. The elephant of ignorance, please protect us from this danger. Okay, so if you have a wild elephant, remember there's a story in the Buddha's life of his cousin, releasing a wild elephant who charges at him. Yeah, you think you have problems with your relatives? Look what the Buddha's cousin did to him. Yeah. So this elephant comes charging at him, and the Buddha, because of his metta, his maitri, subdues the elephant. But a wild elephant tramples crops, it tramples everything, And still in India, in South India, the farmers are very afraid of wild elephants because they just run through everything. Okay, so they're untamed. You might have an elephant tamer who's trying to tame the elephant and subdue it so that people can ride on it, and sell tickets to ride on top of the elephant. That's a good way to make money, huh? Tame an elephant and then sell tickets to ride on it. Yeah, you looking for a new career? Okay, so the elephant is untamed, and it's dulled by the maddening liquor of sense pleasure. Okay, when we are attached to sense pleasure, I want to see beautiful things, hear beautiful music, smell sweet scents, taste delicious food, have such nice things on my body, We're dulled by the maddening liquor of sensual pleasure. We're just totally submerged in it. We can't think of anything else besides my sense pleasure. Okay? Like when you go on vacation, yeah? Why do you go on vacation? Is it really to rest? Do you go on vacation and sleep? No, you go on vacation so that you can have new experiences, be in a beautiful place. You don't go to the slums in India on vacation. You go to the Taj Mahal. You want to see beautiful things, yeah. You want to hear beautiful sounds. You want the kind of music your generation plays. You don't want your parents' music and you don't want your kids' music, okay? But the tunes of your generation, that's the best. That's what you want to hear. Nice smells. Yeah, again, you don't want to go to an impoverished country where it smells terrible. Actually, you know, when we walk by the canal, what is that smell that we smell? Is that, it comes from a restaurant. Is it charcoal? Or do people know? When you cook with charcoal, it seems like that's one of the big things people want now. Anyway, there's one restaurant, when we walk along the canal, the smell is just horrible. And it smells like burning something.
Roasting meat or something.
Maybe roasting meat, but it's like I stop breathing while we walk through it. You know, we don't want to smell bad things, do we? Yeah, we want to smell nice things. There's a perfume called samsara. I think there may be another one. No, there's a band called Nirvana. Yeah? So we just want these nice things. And food, oh my goodness, we want good food. And if you go out to a restaurant and the food isn't good, it's not cooked enough, it's cooked too much, you call the waiter or waitress over and you say, "Take this food back. Bring me what I want." Yeah, how dare you serve this? And everybody else seated around you is looking at you. And you don't care, but everybody at your table is so embarrassed. Okay? Because we are attached to nice tastes, right? Yeah. Don't give me durian. Yeah? Forget that. Don't even want to smell it. Yeah, then central with our body, the air con has to be at exactly the right temperature. Have you noticed that? Yeah. You go into a big shopping mall and you head for the shop that sells winter coats because you're freezing in the shopping mall because the air con is turned up. And air con is a big polluter of the atmosphere. Yeah. And Singapore really can't afford to have more climate change because the more the ice melts at the two poles because of the overheated atmosphere, which comes from the chemicals they use in aircon, yeah, then the more the water level in Singapore around is going to rise, yeah? What's your highest altitude here? You're at Mount Singapore. How high is it? What? Anybody know? Huh? It's not very high. It's actually a hill. Yeah, it's a hill. So if the water rises too much, you know, all of you who don't have swimming pools in your backyard will. But the air con has to be the right temperature, not too cold, not too hot. Yeah, your bed has to be just right, not too hard, not too soft. Okay, if it's too soft, you complain. If it's too hard, you complain. Your meditation cushion. Oh, my goodness. That's what you pray to Tara for. Tara, I've tried everything. Please give me a comfortable meditation cushion. Okay. There is no such thing. Yeah. There is. You've tried everything, haven't you? Yeah. A square one, a round one, a soft one, a hard one. One stuffed with foam, one stuffed with beans, one stuffed with I don't know what. Yeah. And none of them are comfortable, are they? Maybe for the first 2 minutes, but after that, okay. We want nice, soft, sensations of our clothes. They should be soft. We don't want to wear rough things. Yeah, if the cloth is rough, we take it back to the store. I don't want this. Okay, so we're so attached to these things, and we chase them in our life all around as if they were the utmost happiness. And what happens? It shows its harmful tusks, yeah, like a mad elephant. And a mad elephant is like a drunk person, okay? So I know nobody here ever gets drunk. Never. All of you keep the fifth precept perfectly. Yet the only exception is when you rejoice that other people took all 5 precepts when you only took 4. So you go out and drink some liquor to celebrate that they took all 5 precepts. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah. They all took the precept not to drink. So I'm going to go celebrate. Glug, 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 glug. Yeah. The first or second day when we were walking around in the morning, we saw one man, this is just around the corner here, one man like this on the concrete, on the sidewalk, drunk, he passed out drunk. Yeah. And then we woke him up. What did he do? He looked for his phone. It wasn't there. He looked for his wallet. It wasn't there. Okay, so drinking is not advocated. Drinking and drugging. If you have meds prescribed by a doctor, take them according to how the doctor prescribed them. Don't take more. Okay. But recreational drugs, I don't know here if they're a problem, but in my country, they are a huge problem because people are bringing in drugs with this drug called fentanyl, which they cut in a mix with other common drugs that they sell on the street. And this drug is very powerful. You take even a little bit and it kills you. Very, very dangerous. So there's, a huge number of people are dying from fentanyl overdoses. Yeah, very sad. So that and opioids are really poisonous. Yeah, we had a young man come to the Abbey, and his father was a first responder, you know, who goes when there's tragedies to help. But his father died, you know, had access to drugs as a first responder and started taking things, and his dad died of an overdose. This young man, somewhere along the line, had friends that he started taking drugs with. He came out to the Abbey, he spent some time with us. He was doing so well, totally clean, no drugs at all. Yeah, his family was so happy, you know. At one point, he went back, he wanted to go back to where he came from. He went back, he got into drugs again. The next thing we know, his family calls and says that he OD'd, overdosed. You know, this was a young person with so much potential. And his family was just, they were torn up about it, yeah. And they said the happiest they had seen him in recent years was when he was at the Abbey, completely clean. And they were just heartbroken that he died, you know, especially in that way. Somebody found him slouched against the wall, yeah. So the family came out to the Abbey. They brought his ashes. We did a ceremony and sprinkled his ashes in nature. Yeah. But all of us were, you know, just really sad about it. Mm-hmm. So don't get messed up with alcohol and drugs. Yeah. Alcohol may be legal. It is poison. Yeah. Because you start drinking and, you know, people say, I drink, just drink a little bit. I don't get drunk. But you don't know you're drunk and drank too much until you are drunk. So you don't know when to stop. Yeah. And drinking and drugging is a big problem in families, especially when the fathers start drinking and drugging. Yeah, it's a disaster for the family. Yeah, it ruins the marriage. The kids see their dad come home drunk, and when you're drunk, you lose control, so dad beats mom. What does that do to a child to see their mother getting beaten and to see their dad drunk out of his mind? Yeah, that's not kindness to your family. So if you need to relax, there's so many other ways to do it. Yeah, come to the Dharma Center. Yeah, try meditation, try yoga. There's so, you know, go jogging. There's so many things you can do if you need to relax. But drinking and drugging are not the way. Yeah. And it's really a tragedy, not just for the person who drinks and drugs, but for the whole family. Yeah. Okay, next verse. Okay. Oh, so I didn't finish that one. So the elephant is like ignorance. Yeah, so it enters wrong paths, it has wrong views. You try and tame the elephant with the hooks of mindfulness, you know, with hooks. You try and tame your ignorance with mindfulness and introspective awareness, but your ignorance is too strong. And so you just keep going down that path. Yeah? One wrong view after another wrong view, you know, one bit of ignorance and another bit of ignorance. So that's the elephant of ignorance. Then the next one, driven by the wind of inappropriate attention, billowing, swirling smoke clouds of misconduct. It has the power to burn down forests of goodness, the fire of anger. Please protect us from this danger. So fire is really dangerous. Okay, it burns everything and it's difficult to control. Sravasti Abbey is in a forested area and where there's danger of fire. And this last summer in August, we had to evacuate for a week because there was a fire burning close to the Abbey. So the sheriff came, told us we had to leave now. We left. Thank goodness we had good friends, who took in all 24 of us, or 25 people that were there at the time. They took all of us in for a week, and we're sitting there wondering if we're going to have an abbey to go back to, or if it's all going to be burned, because the fire burned, right up to an area that, that's fairly close. And when we drive to the airport, we have to drive through the whole area that was burned. And they say, I think it was like 126 families lost their homes. Yeah, it was bad news. Okay, so anger is similar to fire. Anger it destroys. It's fire sweeps through something and burns everything. Anger, will just go through your relationships and burn everything. Yeah, we talked about anger the first two nights I was here, and especially how anger destroys trust. Yeah, and trust is so important in our family relationships, in our business relationships, at work. If we don't trust people, life is difficult. If we are not trustworthy because we get angry so much, yeah, then it's difficult for people to want to be around us because they aren't sure who they're going to get. Yeah? They come and see us, and are they going to get us when we're in a good mood and we're nice? Or are we going to be in a bad mood and angry and take it out on everybody else? Yeah. But when we have an anger, we never say anger is my problem. You made me angry. It's your fault. Yeah. As if anger is coming from the other person. The other person says, "You're so stupid, you don't know anything." And there are the words coming, the sound waves of, "You don't know anything, you're so stupid." And they hit our ears, and anger! We caught the virus of anger that came from somebody else. It's not like that. We have the seed of anger in us. We are super sensitive to things. We flare up. And then, in our family, we just say to our spouse and our kids, "Well, I'm a person with a bad temper, and you just have to live with it. I was born like that. I've always had a bad temper. There's nothing I can do about it. So just learn to live with it." Right. Yeah? That's a recipe for a good marriage, isn't it? Yeah, that's a recipe for good relationships at work. No, anger just ruins everything. Okay, like fire burns everything. Yeah. So that's why I always say when I talk about anger, everybody brings their husbands and wives so that they can solve their anger problems. Because it's the family, I'm unhappy because of your anger. Yeah. So the husband's poking the wife. See, she's talking about you. And the wife is poking the husband. No, she's talking about you. Okay. Okay, so it's driven by the wind of inappropriate attention. Inappropriate intention is a mental factor that misconceives things. It thinks that things that are changing every moment are fixed and permanent. It thinks that things that are actually by nature dukkha or suffering are actually joyful and pleasant. It thinks that things that are foul and disgusting, like the insides of our bodies, are beautiful. Yeah. It thinks that things that lack a self have a self. Okay, let's go back to the one of it. Thinks that things that are foul are beautiful, like our body. We think our body is so beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, the body is the source of my happiness. And you look at everybody else's body, yeah, when you walk down the street, when you're not looking at your phone. So just once in a while. But even when you're on your phone, what are you looking at? Yeah, and what are you judging? People's bodies. Yeah, your friends are sending you all this thing about, their latest whatever. So on Facebook, everybody looks really good, don't they? Yeah, they look beautiful. On dating apps, are dating apps popular in Singapore? People use dating apps here? Yeah. What? What? No? So, yeah, in America, they're all on dating apps, so you try and sell yourself as if you're a commodity. Look at me, I'm beautiful, gorgeous hair, no wrinkles. I look like Ivanka Trump, clear complexion, blonde hair, which she dyes. Beautiful smile, so sweet. She looks like a plastic doll, doesn't she? Yeah, when I see pictures of Ivanka, she looks like a plastic doll. I won't tell you what I think her father looks like. We already covered that one in the second verse. Okay. But we think if we look good, people will like us. So we're all unhappy with our bodies. We should look like the models. Yeah. You want to look like, who do the guys here want to look like? Nobody seemed to know who Tom Brady was when I mentioned him the other day. Are you still on Rambo? Who? Yeah. So the guys want to look at those muscles. I'm so strong. And the women, of course, they all want to look like Ivanka. No one wants to look like Melania. She's too fake looking. Yeah, don't you think? Yeah. But on your phone, what do you see? And you judge people by their body. When you walk down the street, you judge people by their bodies. What are the inside of everybody's bodies, what do they look like? Yeah? Do you ever find love songs? You know, we wrote one of our nuns wrote one, you know. Your intestines are so curly and cute. Yeah, your liver, just makes me swoon over your liver. You know, and that pancreas, who has ever seen one like that? Yeah, and your stomach filled with undigested food. Yeah, that's what the inside of our body, isn't it? Yeah? Those bones, just listen to them creak. Yeah? So is our body really that gorgeous? Yeah? Just think about it. When you look at somebody and you're like, because they're so good looking, just peel away the skin and look at what's underneath it. Yeah. In Thailand, the law is such that the monks can go to, what do they call it?
Autopsies.
Autopsies. You know, where somebody dies and you cut open the body. So I was visiting a Thai monastery, and the abbot arranged for us to go to an autopsy. So we went. The monks that I went with, and I was with a friend from Singapore. She and I were together. And the monks were so concerned that she and I would pass out at the autopsy. They were concerned, you know, because we're just delicate women who can't stand to see blood and guts. So they were afraid that we would black out, okay, because one of the monks fainted before when he went to an autopsy. We looked at the monks and we said, you know, we've worked in the kitchen cooking meat before for our family. We're used to seeing blood and guts. Yeah, when you cook meat? Yeah, that's what it is. It's the muscle off of somebody else's body, you know, with the skin roasted, you know, just perfectly like in Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah? So we assured them, no, we were not going to faint. But it was very educational, you know, going. And what was so interesting, you know the scales in supermarkets where you weigh how many apples before you buy, or whatever you're buying, you weigh it. So in the autopsy, they start by, they cut here, the skin, and peel the skin back. Then they have a little kind of rotary thing that goes, and they go zip and lift the skull off. Then they take the brains out, okay, and they weigh the brains on one of those scales, just like in the supermarket, you know, and write down, okay, brains, you know, however much a person brains were. And they go through the whole body like that, you know, removing each part, weighing it, checking to see what was the cause of the death, yeah. And then, when they've determined the cause of the death, they've dissected the whole body and weighed everything. Then, of course, they have to put it back together so that it can go back to the family and take to the funeral home. But when they put it back together, they don't put the brain back in the head and the liver back where it belongs and everything. They just took everything that's on the table and shove it back in. So your intestines are in your head, your brain is somewhere around here, everything is just stuffed back in. And then they sew it up. Yeah, they put all the skin together, sew it up, put the head on, you know, I think maybe they put some glue on to make the skull stay on top, and then stitch it up. And then close the eyes and make you look really peaceful. Yeah? So you see what's on the inside of our bodies. Yeah? So why are there all these love songs about how beautiful somebody looks? Yeah? Your eyes are like diamonds. Yeah, just take their eyes out, you know, put them on the table. There's two eyeballs looking at you. Your eyes are like diamonds. Your teeth are like pearls. Yeah, take out their teeth, line them up on the table, all the teeth. Oh, your teeth are like pearls. Ooh, I'm swooning. You are so good looking. Ooh. And that hair. Yeah, your hair. Yeah, that is separated from the head. That's just a clump of stuff on the table. Oh, that hair is so gorgeous. When I cut my hair as an offering to the Buddha, because I had very long hair, I cut it, I put it on the altar. My roommate came in and said, "Ew, who put hair on the altar? It's so dirty." Well, that's my precious hair, you know, that I offered to the Buddha. But she didn't think it was so beautiful. But I spent years growing it out, yeah, so that I could wave it in the breeze, just like in the commercials. You know how the girls have long, and they wave it in the breeze. Yeah. Okay. Much easier this way. Yeah. Much easier. You don't have to worry about combing it. You don't have to worry about if it looks good. Yeah. People can always find you in the airport. Yeah. So this is really, you know, and you don't have to worry about gray hair because you just cut it off. So, yeah, you can sign up. We give free haircuts. Okay, yeah, so the body. We don't have a very realistic view of our body. Next one. Lurking in its dark pit of ignorance, unable to bear the wealth and excellence of others, it swiftly injects them with its cruel poison. The snake of jealousy. Please, Tara, protect us from this danger. Yeah, jealousy is like a snake, isn't it? Yeah, it can't bear to see somebody having wealth we don't. We can't bear to see somebody looking nicer than us, or having higher status, or having more knowledge, or even creating more virtue than we create. Because we're all in a race to get to awakening and get our teacher's approval, so we all want to create more virtue than everybody else, so that our teacher will look at us and say, "You're the best student I've ever had." Right? Have you ever had that fantasy? No, never. Yeah, really. Okay. So we can't stand when people have things we don't. And that jealousy is so painful, so painful. And it leads us to destroy other people's happiness. How can we have respect for ourselves when we get pleasure out of destroying other people's happiness? You know? How do we respect ourselves when we think that we're cruel? When we know that we're cruel? You know, in the Hamas attack on Israel on October 7th, there was one of the Hamas terrorists who went into one of the kibbutzim and started, I think he had a knife or maybe a gun, it doesn't really matter, but killing so many people. And in the middle of killing these people, he took out his cell phone, okay? He videoed himself killing people, sent it to his parents, called his parents and said, "Mom, Dad, your son is a hero. Look at how many Jews I've killed." Yeah, can you imagine somebody feeling like he's a hero because of killing other innocent sentient beings? Yeah, something is really sick about that, you know? So he saw himself as a hero, but how does he live with himself when he gets old, or even now, knowing that he destroyed others' lives, others' families' happiness, and that that's what he was proud of and wanted to show off to his parents? Yeah, but that's what anger and jealousy do. They make us do. That's an extreme example, but that's the kind of thing that jealousy makes us do. Roaming the fearful wilds of inferior practice and the barren wastes of absolutism and nihilism, they sack the towns and hermitages of benefit and bliss. The thieves of wrong views, please protect us from this danger. Okay, so thieves, what do? They take the good stuff that you have. Yeah, they deprive you of what is good. So wrong views are like that. Yeah, they take away our correct views and bind us in absolutism, which is thinking that, that things are truly existent, that there's a permanent God in the world that controls everything. They bind us in that wrong view and in the nihilistic wrong view that nothing exists, so nothing matters. There's no such thing as karma, so you can do whatever you want and just don't get caught. So those two extremes of wrong views, the thieves of wrong view take away our correct views and make us believe in those wrong views. And when we have wrong views like that, again, there's no way to attain awakening. We can't even attain arhatship. And even having a good rebirth is difficult because we might have the wrong view that our actions have no ethical ramifications. So there's no such thing as karma and its effects. I can do whatever I want, doesn't matter. Just don't let the police catch you. And many people in this world think like that. Yeah, and that's kind of a straight ticket to the lower realms. Yeah. So, the first Dalai Lama is telling us about these mental factors in our mind so that we can learn the Buddhist teachings, because the Buddhist teachings tell us how to counteract these wrong views, these harmful emotions, and free ourselves from them. and generate wisdom and love and compassion and all the things that are qualities of enlightened beings. Next one. Binding embodied beings in the unbearable prison of cyclic existence with no freedom. It locks them in cravings' tight embrace. The chain of miserliness, please protect us from this danger. Okay, so chains. When you are chained, you cannot move. Yeah? And it's, the analogy here is being imprisoned. So if you are imprisoned, they chain you. You can't move. Yeah? Even if you have to walk somebody came to visit you, you're walking to the visitation place, they chain you, your arms, your legs, you shuffle along. You're actually chained behind your back. Yeah, you can't move. So the chains are like miserliness. When we are miserly, we don't want to share anything with anybody. Yeah. These are my tissues. They aren't your tissues. You need a tissue? Yeah, anybody need a tissue? Yeah, you have a cold? You need a tissue? These are my tissues. And if I give them to you, then I won't have them. So I hold onto my tissues very tightly. And everywhere I go, I am holding my tissues, my cherished possession. So I walk around everywhere holding my tissues. Yeah. And you can't have them unless you're really nice to me. Then I will consider giving you half of a tissue. Okay? But when we're miserly, this is what we're like. Yeah? We can't give things away. So, in one of my Dharma classes some years ago, we were talking about miserliness. So I gave everybody the homework assignment because we all have closets and cupboards full of stuff that we don't use, right? That you cannot separate with. You can't separate from these things, yeah, because they may have sentimental value. Oh, you know, I had this scrapbook with all the napkins when I went on dates and the guys took me to restaurants. I saved all the napkins and they went in this scrapbook. Yeah. I don't want to give my scrapbook with napkins away. Yeah, look what you saved. Actually, I threw it away before I went to India to ordain. My mother was like, "You're throwing away that scrapbook?" Yeah, with all the pictures and the ticket stubs and the napkins of all the guys you dated. Yeah, Mom, I'm throwing it away. Yeah. Oh, my daughter, what happened to her? Yeah. She's not going to give me grandchildren anymore. Yeah, my brother and sister did it. So that's okay. I got out of it. Yeah. And then one of my mom's grandchildren bit her. Okay. Okay. Yeah, she was 2 or 3 years old. She was mad and sitting in the car next to my mom, and she. So at that point, my mom forgave me for not having grandkids. Yeah. Okay, so this is, the chain of miserliness. We can't separate things. So back to the story I was telling. So I gave this class, everybody, the assignment to go home and clean out one closet, just one, or one drawer, yeah, or one cupboard, just one, and take out everything that you no longer use, yeah, or have not used in a year. And then put it in your car, take it to, we have Goodwill, centers where you can give things away and they get distributed to people who don't have the money to buy stuff. And I said, take it to the Goodwill. So next week, the class came. I said, okay, tell me about your experience. Yeah. Okay. How many of you people didn't do the assignment? Some people raised their hand. Then some people said, I did it, And I went and I opened the closet and I looked at all my clothes and I couldn't give any of them away. I need all of them. Somebody else went to their drawer and cleaned it out and said, oh, I found this T-shirt I got when I was on a holiday to Mexico. I had totally forgotten I even had it. But once I saw it again, I can't give it away. It has so much sentimental value. Yeah. So even though you even forgot you have it, you can't give it away now. Okay. Then somebody else said, okay, yeah, I went. I took the things out of the drawer. I don't use it. Put them in the box. Took it to the front door. But I forgot to put it in the car. Then somebody else said, well, my box got into the car, but I never made it to the Goodwill. And as it turned out, nobody in the class had actually completed the assignment. Yeah? That's the kind of, miserliness that we have. Yeah. I stayed in one person's house. She was very kind and, let me live in her house. But in her basement, she saved, the big cardboard boxes that things come packed in. She had cardboard boxes galore, yeah, that she didn't use, but she might need sometime if she moved. Yeah, filled her, her basement. Yeah. And I felt very proud because I only collect little bottles and little containers, which I do use. Yeah. When I travel, I use them. Some of them have been sitting in that drawer for a while. Yeah. But things that we cannot bear to separate from. Yeah, even though they're not that valuable. Or we forgot we had them. So miserliness is our life change. Okay, let's keep going. Sweeping us in the torrent of cyclic existence so hard to cross, we're conditioned by the propelling winds of karma. We are tossed in the waves of birth, aging, sickness, and death. The flood of attachment, please protect us from this danger. Okay, so attachment you know, when we exaggerate the good qualities of someone or something and then cling to it and want to possess it, it's often, the analogy is often a flood. Yeah, a flood comes, boom, and you can't control it. Yeah, so our attachment floods, you know, floods us. And it is conditioned by the propelling winds of karma. So when we see something that we like, yeah, I want it, I have to have it. I'm attached to it. Yeah, we create a lot of karma in that way. Yeah, and attachment leads to miserliness. Attachment also leads to anger, because when we can't get what we're attached to or when we lose it, we're mad. Okay, next one. Roaming in the dark space of darkest confusion, tormenting those who strive for ultimate aims. It's viciously lethal to liberation. The carnivorous demon of doubt. Please protect us from this danger. So I was once give a talk at a school in the States, and this one boy, he was in secondary school, came to me afterwards and he said, do you believe in demons? Do you believe in the devil? He was really concerned. Clearly, the religion of his family was teaching him there's a devil and be careful. You know, I said, no, a devil, an external being who makes us do bad things. I don't believe in that devil. Yeah, what I think that bothers us is, you know, here, first, you know, I said, what did I say? I think I said attachment and anger. But here, what it's comparing to a devil or to a demon is doubt, okay? So doubt, especially, I mean, doubt really messes up our lives. Just making simple decisions, some people cannot make decisions. Shall I do this? Shall I do that? If I do this, I doubt that it's the best thing. If I do that, it may not be the best thing, because we're trying to squeeze out the most happiness from everything we see, and we can't figure that out. But that's one kind of doubt. The doubt that's really like a demon is when we doubt what we believe in, when we doubt if karma exists, when we doubt if Buddha, Dharma, Sangha exists, if we doubt that karma, the law of karma, exists. These kinds of doubts are really like a demon, because when we have that doubt, we go, I'm not sure enlightenment, awakening is possible. I don't think it's real possible. It's possible. So why should I learn the Dharma? They say awakening is possible. I don't really believe it. It's too advanced. It's too high. And the path is too hard. And it's just little old me. I can't accomplish that. So better I stay home and eat some noodles. Yeah, and some ice cream. And some dumplings. I don't doubt that those bring me happiness. They also bring me an upset stomach when I eat too much. But karma, that I can't really believe in that. Okay? So we have these kinds of doubts, and then that takes us away from wanting to create virtue and wanting to avoid non-virtue, because we don't believe that any of that is real. Yeah? And that's very harmful to our well-being. Okay, next one. Oh, that was the last one. The next one is the concluding verse. Through these praises and requests to you, the 21 Taras, quell conditions unfavorable for Dharma practice, and let us have long life, merit, glory, plenty, and other conducive conditions as we wish. So it sounds like we're saying, okay, Tara, come on, bring it on. You know, it's your duty to make me awakened. Okay, we don't praise Tara and make requests to Tara so that she'll do good things for us. We praise and make requests so that we will see Tara's virtues and be inspired to develop them in our own minds, in our own lives. Because when we develop those virtues, then our life is really transformed and the possibility of true happiness is there. Okay? So, we will get to the practice of Tara that you all came from. It's going to be in the afternoon, so you have to show up this afternoon. No ditching class. Okay? Sorry. Okay, so let's dedicate the merit. You know, we didn't have much time for questions, but maybe in the afternoon we can have some Q&A.